Lovely people, welcome to our weekly reading for the week of the 30th of October. I hope you are all well. I hope you've had a good week, and I hope you found our reading last week helpful for you. I also want to say at this point, happy Halloween for tomorrow. And let us see what the cards have in store for us. Right, let's have a little look. So, okay, let's see. So we have the Seven of Pentacles. We have the Eight of Cups. So we have two minor arcana cards here. And we have the King of Wands. Okay, right, let's have a chat about what these are all telling us for this week. So, we have two minor arcana cards, which are very much about, sort of day-to-day kind of issues, what we need to be aware of and take care of. And the King of Wands is a court card. And this would be a message from some aspect of yourself, or from some influence around you that's very close to you. So let us have a look. Right here. So the Seven of Pentacles is very much it symbolizes a realization that a new approach is required to achieve goals. So seven is very much about reflection, and it can also be sevens can also be very much about creation, creativity and creation, but also about research. You know, doing all of the research that will bring success about. And the suit of Pentacles is it indicates a preference for reflection on your career goals. So that's sort of financial stability, really. And what this card is saying is that there is a certain amount of financial stability here now in your current projects, and that they're proceeding slowly or smoothly because you're able to step back actually and have a look at them. So there's patience very much symbolized in this card, and it's difficult to plan long term when kind of you've got unpaid bills mounting up. So this card is showing that a stage where your immediate needs are being met, and therefore it's time to consider sort of longer term strategies, for whatever successful enterprise you want to put out there. So the card is saying, you're not there yet, but it's saying don't give up. And Pentacles by nature are people that they strive to become comfortable with what they already have. So, and also they're very much about making plans for the long term, so that they're as they get older, they will be comfortable. So it's a very Pentacles are a very solid suit, very much base chakra stuff. Having that house over your head, having that job to keep the house over your head, being able to afford to heat it. These are really, really basic, very, very basic needs that we all have. So when this card comes up in a reading, it's kind of saying that that this is a good time to be doing your research, because there is money to invest, and while you're planning a stable financial future, this is where research is really, really important. And it could also be a card where to consider enhancing your skills, and that could be through study. But in general, this card indicates spare money that can be put towards, say, personal security or long-term plans. So, it's at times when financial pressures subside, this allows you to reflect on long-term economic plans. So this card represents acknowledging and appreciating, your prosperity, basically, and your accomplishments, what you have improved, and also to think about what goals you're still working towards. So the road here may not have been easy. We've got some little mountains here in the background, which would imply that there have been challenges, and but and it's not over yet, because 7 is not a card of completion, but you're over the hump, and your foundations, particularly when we're looking at Pentacles, they're very firmly rooted. So it's a card that reminds you to stop ignoring or minimizing your successes. And that's really, really important. So if you look at this guy here, if you look at this farmer here, he's allowing himself to stop being productive long enough to truly appreciate his progress. So there's a certain humbleness in that, but this humbleness possesses a healthy sense of self-esteem that hard work can engender. So the 7 of Pentacles does imply that a lot has already been done, but there is still some work to be done. And as I said earlier, you're over the hump now, but you need to just consistently keep working, and you will eventually get there. Now this brings us on to the next card, which is the 8 of Cups. So the Cups, the Cup suit is very much about emotions and relationships. And the number 8 is a card of strength. So it's a number of strength. And so what this card is, it's very much about inner resolve. And because we're looking at the Cups suit, it's inner resolve to leave an emotionally, say, unfulfilling situation. Because Cups people, they're naturally sentimental. So leaving someone or even a situation behind, that can be really difficult for them. And when you leave something behind, it does require commitment and determination to move forward. So, and the courage, where the courage comes in here, is that it's about moving forward without a guarantee that you will be happy as a result. And that's really important. That's where courage comes in. It's not about the end result. It's about that moment when you decide you're going to go for it and you commit to that. So, the promise of a better life can strengthen a person's resolve to relinquish, say, an unrewarding or but safe situation. But when the 8 comes up, it's saying that promise of a better, it's just a promise. It's not a guarantee. And this is where you need the courage. And there's this lovely red cloak going on here, which is telling us that this person has the passion to move forward, to move away from what's not fulfilling anymore. There are definitely challenges ahead. Look at these mountains that he needs to climb. and there's this gap here. But in a way, he's kind of between. We're looking at 5 cups down below here. Well, 5 is very much can be about conflict and strife, and 3 can be very much about coming together. So, and 2 is about we're looking at 2 can be very much about decision making, with the cup suit, 2 is about a relationship really between 2 people, whether it's a business relationship or whether it's a personal relationship. And then 1 is always it's always the seed, the idea of starting something new. So when the 8 of Cups comes up, it's kind of the strength is in knowing when a situation has yielded all it can for now. And Cups people, they are attuned to emotions, and so therefore they instinctively know when a friendship is ending, or when a personal relation or thing is undergoing a transformation. It's very much an intuitive awareness of when it's right to stay or when it's right to leave. So the journey does require energy and passion and commitment. And this is, again, looking at this red coat. And this journey very much preoccupies a person's thoughts in day and night, which is where we're kind of looking at the moon and the sun. So this is a person who seeks what is missing within them and is about connecting. It's very much about connecting with that valued, hidden, inner part of you, that inner self, that spiritual self, that part of you that doesn't sleep at night because they're aware of a greater sort of fabric of life going on. So it's neither, the 8 is neither a promise of happier times, and it's also not a guarantee of success. So each individual, you do need to act on your own awareness, that presents circumstances have little, that present circumstances have little to offer. So the 8 is very much a realization that a change is needed for inner fulfillment. And it may not be a physical act of walking away. It could be just a quiet withdrawal into a search for some source of joy. It's very much about a time to discover what brings you happiness. So, and for everybody, this journey is very, very unique. And when this card comes up in a reading, it's telling you to go deep within yourself, to hear your spirit, and to reclaim strength and abilities that you forgot you possessed. So it's not an easy journey to initiate, but it is a reminder to let your instincts guide your path. And if you do that, deep healing will take place. But you have to listen to your instincts, because they will give you the power to overcome any kind of sort of previous blockages that you might have had or might still have. So that's quite interesting. We have the 7, which is about long-term planning and doing some research, and the finances are there to to figure out really what to do. And then we're now looking at a card that's about relationships. And as I say, that relationship could be a business partner relationship, or it could be a domestic relationship. But either way, it is about a relationship, and it's about whether the time from the reflection here, is this the right time to leave, or is it best to stay? So, because there's room to stay, but if you stay, then a transformation has to take place, and changes have to be made. And so it's two very reflective cards, really. However, there is the King of Wands here to add a little bit of input in here. And so the King of Wands is the wise counselor of the tarot. And the reason for that is because this king came up the hard way and has survived many, many trials by fire, because we're looking at the wands here. We're looking at the wands suit, and the wands suit is very much about action. And so because of his experience, this king speaks with gravity and wisdom. So, you know, the King of Wands sort of represents that part of you that is wise and competent. And the King of Wands teaches you to trust in yourself. And this is going to be really hard here, isn't it? You know, this is where you really have to work at that. This is putting the cards into your own personal situation here. And this card reminds you that if you don't trust in your own competency and abilities, then you are betraying the very part of yourself that has helped you to survive thus far. So this part of you really deserves some respect. You know, that you recognize and trust yourself, trust your abilities, trust your competency. So the King of Wands, this is a particular king that doesn't command others to respect him. He doesn't need to command other people to respect him. They only need to look at him and to realize his quality. Because this king was not born royal. And so he carries himself with dignity and regal bearing because he was a soldier who came up through the ranks, and he earned this respect. And this is why the king is very much about saying, look, reflect here, see what you made, step back and take some time here and check what you're doing and see how great you've done here. And then this card is saying, you know, reflect on, you know, what's going to make you happy, and where do you need to use your strength. And then this card is saying you don't have to bulldoze your way through anything. You have earned this respect. So this kind of competent leadership naturally causes other people to follow. So we're looking at a king here. We're looking at his throne. He's got all of these lines here. These are all about strength. The number 8 is a card of strength. And there are also lizards. There's lizards here in this card. And lizards are very much about survivors, because lizards live in really hot climates, like the hottest of climates. So they can really, really take the heat. And this is, so the lizard is a very strong reminder to the king that this king was born, you know, to low ancestors. And it's very much about not allowing your emotions to get too hot or cold, because this quality will help you to assess yourself and others. If you're able to remain, you know, engaged but a little emotionally detached, then that does give you that space to assess yourself and others. So this king has really gained maturity and wisdom and understands that coming up as a lizard gave him the really valuable gifts that he wouldn't have had he been born into, say, the Lions Club. So because, you know, if he'd been born into the Lions Club, he'd have been born privileged and he wouldn't really have had to claw his way anywhere. Whereas the lizard was kind of known as a bit kind of dirty and evil even. But the lizard, you know, really tough creature, and was able to withstand the stuff that was kind of thrown at him. And so this very much is about it's time to acknowledge that you are competent and you do belong and you do deserve a seat at the table. So this card is telling you not to look at others and assume that they're better because they have more. Because let's face it, you don't know their story. None of us know other people's story. Everyone has different things that they're working on. So, you know, like you, it doesn't matter where you've come from. We all have this sort of battle. We have to battle our inner shadows that cause us to doubt ourselves. And this card is telling you that, you know, you need to tell your inner saboteur, you know, to go take a hike, really. And so respect your inner lizard. I like that. Yeah, you know, just like respect your inner lizard. And, you know, this king is deliberative and it thinks about problems. So it's, there is a problem here, isn't there? And, you know, and what's quite interesting is there's money here. But there is a definite conflict going on here, where you know, within a relationship. And as I say, that could be a business relationship, it could be a personal relationship, but whatever it is, this card is saying, is it time to leave or is it time to stay? And if it's time to leave, then you know you're ready to do that. However, if it's and you know that you have the courage to do it, because you know that nobody walks away from something without knowing that there are obstacles ahead. So, but you have the courage, and equally you can have the courage to stay and exercise a transformation. So it's quite complex, this reading this week, and I would like to say, you know, good luck with that one. I know it's going to preoccupy my mind for some time. And I'm going to leave it at this for you. So if it resonates with you, do leave me a comment below. And you can subscribe to this channel to be notified for the next reading. If you would like to know more, you can book a private reading with me. You'll find my email address in the description of the video below. So lovely people, lots of love, and see you next week.